It's Friday, June 3rd, and I am at Royale National Park. I'm headed out on a 6-day, 5-night backpacking trip. It's super windy out here, but this is the view from the Daisy Farm dock. Came down here to get some water. That's the route that the Ranger 3 comes through those islands right there. So it's about 8 p.m. Still pretty light out. Today was pretty uneventful. I filmed the way I came 2 other times, so I didn't film it again today. But if you're going to come to Daisy Farm, the quickest way, in my opinion, is to go Tobin Harbor. It's about 7.7 miles, something like that, but I made it in 3 hours, which is a pretty good time. It's about 8 p.m. Just finished eating dinner. Today was pretty uneventful. I didn't really see any big wildlife. Some ducks, geese. Tomorrow I'm going to try to hike to Hatchet Lake, which I think is around 15 miles, 15 point something miles. And I'll probably film a little more because that's an area I haven't been to yet. It's a beaver dam at Daisy Farm. Here's another view of the same beaver dam. It is Saturday, June 4th, around 7 a.m. Left camp about 10 or 15 minutes ago. It's a real chilly morning, it's probably in the 30s. Today I have about 15 miles to go to get to Hatchet Lake. Climbed up to a viewpoint on the greenstone. I've been here before a couple times. I think that's Sergeant Lake, which there aren't any trails to go to. And then I'm guessing, based on the map, that's Lake Windigo, maybe. And then I think off in the distance right there is Chicken Bone. It's about 9:40. Probably hiked about 5.5 miles maybe. Stopped at this overlook, eat breakfast. I think I probably got maybe 10 more miles to go today. Just had to go around a huge beaver dam. It was right on the trail, so that took maybe 10 or 15 minutes to figure out which way to go. I marked this end of the trail with the orange flag, so maybe that'll help other people find it easier. So I made it to the turnoff to East Chicken Bones over this way, but Cargo Cove is like 2 miles that way. I've been that way a couple of times, but I'm not going there this time. I am heading toward West Chicken Bone, which is this way. Just thought this was a cool looking area, all flooded out like that. So I made it to the West Chicken Bone Junction, but I'm heading to Hatchet Lake, which is 7.2 miles down that way, which will be mostly new trail for me. Closest thing to a moose I've seen yet. Just climbed up on the ridge. There's a nice breeze up here. I hope I stay up here for a while. to see, get a nice view. I think that might be Siskiwit Lake, maybe. It's Lake Superior in the back there. So this is pretty much what it's looked like the last couple hours, except uphill and downhill. So I made it to the Hatchet Lake Junction. Only 0.5 to go to camp. I think I left at West Chicken Bone at 11:45, and it's 3 o'clock. So about 3 hours, a little over 3 hours to get here with all the stopping and everything. Here's a look around Hatchet Lake. I walked down here to eat dinner, soak my feet in the water. 2 loons just swam really close to me. They went up that way somewhere. I didn't have my phone out at the time. It's about 5:45 a.m. So look around Hatchet Lake. It is Sunday, June 5th, about 7:15. I just hiked a half a mile back up to the Greenstone Ridge. First stop today is Ishmaming Point. It's like 3.8 miles. Probably stop there and eat breakfast. I'm supposed to camp at Island Mine, which I think is 13 miles. But I'm going to pass by another lake today around 10 miles, something like that, so I might camp there instead. Last night was much warmer, although it's a little chilly this morning, so I need to get hiking so I can warm up. There's the Ishmaming Point. I don't know what to call it, radio tower maybe? So I'd considered staying at Malone Bay, 7 miles down the trail there, but I don't think I'm going to go because I have to come back the same way tomorrow. And I'm not sure how clear the trail will be so early in the season, but I got to head toward Lake DeSoar, which is the junction of Lake DeSoar, which is 3.5 miles. But I'm going to sit here and eat breakfast first. There's a big beaver dam over there. That's the lodge on the right. No moose hanging out in there though. So I made it to the Lake DeSoar junction. Got about 0.3 to get to the campgrounds. It's really early, it's like 11 o'clock. Originally the plan was to go to Island Mine, which is another 4.8 miles. But I think I'm going to switch the plan up a little bit. I'd rather camp at this lake. So here's a look at Lake DeSoar. I'm at South Lake DeSoar campground. There's a north somewhere over there. I don't know where it's at. Today was a pretty easy day. I hiked from Hatchet Lake to Lake DeSoar, specifically South Lake DeSoar. There's 2 campgrounds. There's one North Lake, but that's on the other side. I didn't go that way. It was around 8 point something miles. I was at camp really early, like 11. Just been laying around all day. I took a nap. I just ate dinner. It's around 6 o'clock. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is hike to Windigo, which is around, I think, 11.3 miles. You're allowed to stay more than one night in Windigo, so I need to stay 2 more nights here, so I'm going to grab a spot set up camp and stay there 2 nights. And then on Tuesday, I will go do some day hiking around Windigo and just hang out down there. And then Wednesday, I catch the boat back to Houghton. Look at sunrise this morning. It's about 5:45 maybe. This is what the trails look like, mostly from the South Desor turnoff junction to the Island Mine junction, except I've been walking uphill. Here's another moose antler. You can see where the animals chew on it, which reminds me of a story that I'm going to tell. So last night I was camped at campsite 1 at South Lake Desor. About 1 a.m. I heard a moose tromping around in the woods and stuff. And I laid there and listened to it, and he kept getting closer and closer. And finally I got the courage up to get out of the tent, because I didn't want to be in the tent if the moose got like real close or something. And I had my headlamp and I'm looking around, and basically I could see the moose standing there. It was like in between campsite 1 and 2 eating. And so I just stood there for a while, and eventually the moose like kind of wandered off, but it was still in the general area most of the night. And then went back to bed. But yeah, it was kind of creepy happening in the middle of the night like that. And someone who had camped there the night before told me the same thing had happened, except the moose was like up on a hill behind the campsites instead of like down in the campsite. So maybe it's a regular there. So I made it to the Island Mine campground junction. I was supposed to camp there last night, but changed my mind. So today I'm heading to Windigo. It's another 6.5 miles according to that sign. I think my map says something else though. There's a moose over there. It must have been sitting down. I didn't see it. It jumped up and ran off. Looks like it has a radio collar on, so it's probably a problematic moose maybe. So it's about 11:30. Just been trucking along, stopping to talk to people. Starting to see more and more people as I get closer to Windigo. But this is what the trails look like pretty much. Pretty flat and open. So I made it to Windigo. This is shelter 15. It's getting ready to rain, so I just grabbed the first one. And here's the creek. Here's a look around the dock area at Windigo. It's awful windy out. Good morning. It is Tuesday, June 7th. I am on my way to Huggin Cove. I'm just day hiking over there. It's around 8 miles round trip. So it should take 4 to 5 miles, or I'm sorry, 4 to 5 hours. Hike over and back. Last night was pretty chilly. I think it got down to 30s, upper 30s. It's pretty chilly right now still. It's about 6:15. I left early so I could get back to Windigo and watch the boats come in. So it looks like 3.1 miles. Hasn't really been much to see along this walk. kind of up and down, just through the woods. This section here and these cedars look pretty cool. See the woodpecker holes. Here's a look around Huggin Cove. It's a really pretty spot. Try to camp here next time. A little bit different view from Huggin Cove on the other side of that finger that was sticking out. Moose over there, the radio collar on, all with the calf. It's a cow with a calf. It's the ranger pulling in. Look at sunrise this morning. Can't really see it. See how calm the lake is this morning. Been trying to see a woodpecker all week. You can hear them everywhere. I think that's Beaver Island.